Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Dungeons and Dragons on the channel. I, of course, am the Wombat of DM, and you are at episode 46 of our Seregen campaign. I have a fine, hearty group of players down below us. Let's let them introduce themselves.
Are we going alphabetically?
We're going the same order we always go.
Oh, okay. Hey, I am the Banewall. I am Belzian Gilkist, the half-elf monk.
I'm Amethyst. I'm playing Roger Mays, the Wood Elf Assassin.
Yes,
Hey
he would.
there. Hey there. I am Shade, and I almost fell backwards out of my chair, and am playing Ulrich, the human paladin with a stomach illness right now.
Excellent reflex save there, by the way.
Thank you.
I am Jaeger. I play Yarvik, the Yarvik Venison Bringer, the Halfling Ranger, who would almost definitely prefer to be flying if they had airplanes.
I am Atomic, and I play Zippo, the definitely not murderous Kobold Sorcerer, who's definitely not a murderer, promise. He's very excited about dragons and spoiling the ever-living everything out of the animal that's pulling our boat right now.
Well, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for introducing yourselves, everyone. So we have had a little bit of a break since our last session, just real-life things happening left and right. So welcome back from the long delay, and if you're watching the VODs, of course, you won't notice whatsoever, and thank you for watching. So let's catch you up to speed. Last time we met a dragon, the first dragon of the campaign, named Leet, spelled Leet, and he was a bronze dragon with a sleepy attitude. He kind of filled the party in on some things about the Bronze Clan, but ultimately directed them north to his city of Ildren. He also explained that he was a kind of a ferryman for the Dragon Clan, where he would send meat up to Ildren on a ferry pulled by plesiosaurs from a long neck preserve to the west of that ferry area. So the party, he asked to take the shipment up for him, and the party agreed. So they've been guiding this ferry up the river, and, well, it's a big barge of meat in dinosaur lands. So, of course, it attracted the attention of some predators and some scavengers. And the party encountered two T-Rexes, a pair of T-Rexes that were quite hungry and looking to feed off of the pile of meat, and also a Leopleurodon, both of which they handled pretty well, all things considered. The Leopleurodon, of course, got turned into a cat and got transported somewhere inland and deposited by our monk Belzian. So those spells from Zippo definitely came in handy. And that's kind of where we left off. The group has just kind of recovered from this battle. Ulrich has been kind of out of commission for the last 2 weeks because his in-character or out-of-character counterpart has been out. So he's been sick with an illness, which has caused him to not be able to participate in combat and various other mechanics. Of course, as the Leopleurodon was slain, it seems like Ulrich shook the last of his illness and is now feeling quite well. He kind of wakes up from his sleep. Maybe that long rest that he had while the boat was sailing just was the last thing he needed to recover. But he is good to go now. And that's where I'll leave it in your hands.
Man, I am thirsty as hell. Is this water fresh or salt?
One way to find out.
Yeah. And he just like sticks his head into the water.
I'm back. Sorry.
So what's the
God.
prognosis?
Yeah. Is this fresh or saltwater, Josh?
This is freshwater. It's a river.
Yep, that's what I was thinking. But you never know. Could be brackish. Yeah. I mean, he comes up and he's like, that helps. I'm so sorry, everyone. I miss much.
I just
Not
dropped
really.
a cat off in the woods.
Yeah, you just miss a cat.
Yeah.
The cat is far, far away. Do not worry, fellows.
Okay.
All right. Once Belgian comes back and tells us the cat's far, far away, I'll stop concentrating on polymorph.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't a cat originally, but I made it a cat. It was a water creature, and so we sent it really far into inland, and I just untransformed it just now. So, hopefully, it suffocates on land. Hopefully.
Huh.
After
We also had to
dropping-
fight these two giant creatures that were really big and really cool, and they attacked us though, so we had to kill them.
Mm. Well, sorry I missed all that, but how far along are we on this little journey? You reckon?
I
I'll-
haven't a clue.
I'll change the map over to change the map over to the map, I guess is the proper way to say this. So we've made it quite a ways inland going by water.
Yeah. Good.
I think we were in the middle of a long rest when we got attacked by that thing.
I believe you were.
Well, I think it's only fair that I take the watch while you all finish your rest.
Alrighty. And if Fred wakes up before, was it Fred that we named the?
Fred is its name, yes.
Yeah. If Fred wakes up, just toss it a treat from the bucket. Maybe two. I give it two. Everybody else gives it one.
Well, I'll give it 2 then.
Perfect.
It's funny. Zippo barely remembers Marius's name, the leader who's taken over for Seregen, and then over the course of weeks remembers the name Fred.
It's because I like Fred.
Alright. So,
I'll be right back.
y'all sleep well. Or, maybe don't go to sleep yet.
Sticks on the nightstand
Maybe, yeah, Belzian's gonna Naruto run back from the forest without the cat and do a big jump onto the boat, landing directly in the sleeping bag.
Why don't you move your arms when you run? That seems terribly inefficient.
Oh, it does seem counterintuitive for sure, but
See.
there's this thing called drag. If your arms are moving, they're gonna catch resistance.
That's why I don't run. That's why I get carried by Brunhild or one of you guys. Or by the
Yeah,
wind.
if you notice, Brunhild also does not move her arms when she runs.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
you're
that's
right.
true. I also don't
And I
move my
will-
arms when I'm riding on top of Brunhild.
I will say you looked a lot cooler with them dragging behind you.
Perfection.
Alright. I'll take watch. You enjoy.
All right. So, Ulrich, if you could roll for me a perception check.
Yes, sir. 17.
Okay. And give me a d20 roll, please.
Okay. Ten.
All right. Cool. All right. Good to know. All right. So, it is fairly quiet. The encounter had a lot of noise to it. In the distance, you hear kind of like a gargling roar to the east. Something that sounds kind of frightened, but large. Presumably, it's the creature that they described that they fought earlier in the water. But other than that,
damn.
you don't hear much else.
Yeah, Ulrich considers whether it would be worth. He wonders how far away that is and whether it would be worth going to put it out of its misery, but decides against it.
Okay. The boat is a boat that's fairly large for just a simple ferry, but I mean it does carry it quite a load, so it couldn't just be like a barge made out of like trees or something like that. It's a finely made craft. It looks like large creatures could easily pilot it. Even the bucket is fairly large. It's big enough that Zippo struggles to kind of maneuver it, but he's able to, just slowly. You know what I mean? And it's yeah. So it's kind of a brief description of the ship. Currently, it is beached on the side of the river. The plesiosaur kind of resting in the water with its head on the shore.
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
A few hours pass with no one to talk to. You kind of keep an eye on the area. Have you ever been on a boat before other than this?
I don't know if he'd have a lot of reason to be, but like, because most of the rivers and stuff over in Seregen are, bridges and horse. Right? I mean, like, aside from there was the raft that, like, went along the chain.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'd be on a boat like this before. I don't see a lot of reason.
Okay. So that might be, now that you're thinking about it, part of the reason why you are not feeling well.
Yeah.
But you were starting to feel ill before you boarded the boat, so.
Well, sooner we get off, the better.
All right. So you do watch no encounters happen, and morning comes.
Well, I feel long rested. Let's go.
All right.
Thanks, Ulrich.
Thank you.
Well, you're seeming better from whatever mystery ailment bothered you.
I'm sure it's just being on a boat, things like that. What are you gonna do?
Something about the motion of the ocean. I'm not sure.
You know what? I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. I'm not sure if I follow any secondary meanings to that, because I'm just really not sure about any naval capacities that I've experienced.
Seregen does have a navy. It's just not something you've been involved in.
Okay, cool.
You were part of the army foot stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
He follows the meaning as well. Then
I believe we've heard tales of boats just going away and never coming back.
Yeah, there's that too. There are ports along Seregen. I mean, famously, Gerard's port is now Fool's Port. It was renamed by, the late king when he won the war. So there's definitely ports in Seregen, and most ships are built to be coastal ships, but there were more ocean-bound ships that were made, and many of those ships never returned. So people generally make coastal ships, and that's it.
As soon as we wake up and Fred is starting to move, I'm gonna move up and throw 2 treats to him.
He doesn't seem interested in them for a bit, and they start floating down the river. I guess there is such a thing as too many treats.
Man, Fred's been mistreated. He thinks there's such a thing as too many treats.
You're
Mistreated.
wasting our chum.
I told you you'd give him diabetes.
You spoil the boy.
Somebody's got to.
I kind of think not getting eaten by the dragons or other dinosaur type things is probably payment in itself. Fred looks like he's doing pretty good for himself.
Definitely well fed.
Well fed, Fred.
I think we should nickname him Fabulous Fred.
Just fabulous, Fred. He's moving along.
So he
Or we
hasn't
need to steer him.
he hasn't taken off yet.
Right. And that's that's kind of where I was asking. It's like, do we need to steer Fabulous Fred, or is that she's kind of do his own thing?
I
The
think we have-
cool in Draconic will tell him, go.
And Fred goes immediately. He pushes off from the shore, his head still above the water, and he begins doing his serpentine motion to navigate in the river. And the boat pulls off of the sand and into the river. Continues.
See how
on.
much Fred likes me, Ulrich?
That's pretty impressive.
I go spoil him.
Now you spoil us too with all those crazy spells you slinging around. Very magical.
It's a lot of fun.
I thought I had magic powers for a brief moment there, but it turns out I was just cursed. Ha!
Right.
You didn't lose your head about it though, so
We're pretty close.
All right, so you're sailing upriver. The plesiosaur continues forward. What is your actions while the boat is in motion?
I think Ulrich's just kind of keeping an eye out to see if there's anything on the horizon that catches his eye.
Zippo is trying his best to draw the T-Rexes.
Belzian's taken in the nautical lifestyle, breathing in the air deeply, looking at the forest go by super fast, just stoked for life.
Yarvik is wondering what's going on back home.
And Roger?
Nothing good, Yart.
Sorry, what's that?
What are you up to?
I'm just keeping watch. There's not really much for me to do here on the boat aside from that.
Okay, passive perception or active?
Passive.
Okay. You continue up. Roger, you notice more and more often you see dragons in flight, some circling the area, some seeming to go in various directions, whether it be east or south, or just in a circular or circuitous method, like as in a patrol. The patrol ones seem to be in groups of 3 in a triangle formation. Oftentimes when dragons are traveling toward that patrol or away from it, the patrol will link up with the lone flyer. They'll fly together for a few minutes, and then the one will break off from the group. None seem to head toward the ferry, but you have the feeling that you've been noticed. If you see them, they can probably see you.
Yeah, that's valid.
Especially since nobody made a stealth check for the boat. That's a joke. That was not possible.
I hope I can find a receipt for the toll that we paid.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing that we didn't put in the summary. Leet also charged the group to use the ferry.
Huh. So we're doing Leet's job, but also paying to do the job.
Oh, you paid, I think.
Yeah, no, of course.
Actually, we split it. Yarvik bought, what, 2 or 3, I think? I forget.
I know for sure Ulrich paid for Zippo's.
Yeah, they
Couldn't happen any
basically
other way.
they basically took it from your purse because you were pretty much out of it.
Yep.
Zippo would pay for this. Or sorry, Ulrich would pay for this. There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, that is perfectly reasonable and true.
I will let the party know that about the patrols of dragons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zippo would stop drawing the trying to draw the 2 records. He stopped trying to draw them and look up. And every time he seen a dragon, he would just wave like really frantically, like super frantically, like both hands waving at him.
Mm-hmm.
Zippo, are you trying to fly?
I'm really excited. But also, yes.
I see.
Plesiosaur makes fast movement and continues up. The current is a little stronger here, and you can see that there's a lot more hilled areas. It's no longer able to see out across a plain, a treed plain. It's more of a hilly area. You can see kind of the terrain rise up around you. You're now in more of a valley than you were kind of a slower, wider river. You see the mountains now looming ahead of you. These mountains quite large. I would say they were comparable to the mountains in your lands, the mountains of Jane, which it's quite a big mountain range. But the Axe Clan mountains were bigger, and these are wider and seem to be farther spanning. They're comparable in size, but like it just seems more like a line of mountains with that the river coming out of them. Judging by the speed of which you're traveling and where the map shows that you are, you guess, Ulrich, that the group's going to make it to Ildren by the end of day. So you'll be arriving in the Dragon City in the evening.
Nice. And we are gonna be welcomed there, yeah.
We're bringing food. I guess.
Wait, we brought food? Are we the food?
I mean, I guess that is a good question. But
We have this bucket of chum, and that's about it.
No, we got some dino meat.
Oh, did we get a bunch of meat to come with us? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he already had it like partially loaded. He just like, hey, y'all can eat it all.
the dragon we rented the boat from did indicate that we would probably not be eaten on site. So,
Right.
progress.
Yeah.
I'll do my best to negotiate for us.
yeah,
Just know it's
you.
probably going to be slowed down by excitement.
Yeah, you may be the only one of us that can actually talk to them in their native language.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure nobody else has Draconics.
Sadly, no.
Not yet, anyways. Perhaps you can teach us.
I got Draconic, Infernal, and Primal. I got y'all.
What's that? Is Fred purring? What is this?
Can you hear him?
I can hear somebody purring.
That would be Benji.
Sorry, that's me.
Oh,
I knew Fred was excited. I know it's off topic, but that reminds me there's a place I deliver parts to, and they have a cat. It's a fat cat named Jethro, and I love him. Every time I go there, he runs up to me and I get to pick him up. It's amazing.
nice. So, do we continue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You begin sailing up the river more and approach, what can only be described as a place nothing like you've ever seen. Ildren kind of rises up where the two rivers meet and form the river that you've been sailing along. It is definitely a city. It is fully established, unlike what you saw in the Axe Clan lands. It seems like it's an ancient city. The city itself, you can see, has basically very similarly to the Longneck Preserve, has both accesses for large creatures and smaller creatures. So like the gates have like two access points, one built into the other. There are buildings and structures that seem to be built for even larger than large, but the city itself seems to be themed around the large size category for the most part. In addition to the docks that you approach, there are two great bridges, one on either side of the city, crossing both rivers, as well as it seems to be landing platforms in kind of a higher point in the city where dragons might land at various points. The city itself is built up on what looks to be what used to be a small mountain, but is no longer considered one, as it has been carved into or worn down into the city itself. Not unlike how Jane was formed from the mountain, though this, it seems like the entirety of the height has been co-opted into the city itself. kind of spanning both sides and filling the valley. There are quite a lot of dragons that you can see both patrolling, like before landing, launching, piloting ships coming in or out of the harbor. It looks like one such ship that's empty is being piloted by a dragon and going downriver with another plesiosaur. This is interesting because you haven't noticed any other ships on your approach to Ildren. So this is the first ship you've seen going the other direction.
You said it was being piloted by a dragon?
Yes.
As if I would wave to him as they passed, if they passed him?
He doesn't pass close, but he raises a clawed hand as he passes by.
Suppose, like, after he does it, Zippo look back to the group. Oh, boom! Dragon friend number 2.
Nice side of that. Sorry, I think I was muted there for a second. But that's a good sign.
Indeed. And also, as we're getting closer, it's like almost visible at this point that Zippo's basically just like jumping with excitement. Like, if the boat didn't have like slight movements, you would feel like him just pretty much like just jittering with excitement. Like, you could probably hear his teeth clacking because he's so excited.
The city itself seems to be in quite a motion. It seems fairly active, even for late at night. Or not late at night, but the evening, you know what I mean? After normal business hours in Seregen. The plesiosaur, pulls 2 great last pulls to bring the ship up against a dock where a dragon yells a command in Draconic that says, he basically translates to, raise the gates, and some humanoids of various races, some being human, some being some form of half human, half other creature. Looks like some lizard folk and some other things like that. Scramble to raise what seems to be a great pen gate, and the plesiosaur swims into that and goes into that enclosure, and they close it again. As the boat is docked and some workers tie up the boat, a dragon lands on the dock next to the boat and says, "Excellent work. I mean, checking in, Leap checking in," says the familiar dragon next to you. And a dragon basically begins checking in the meat and ordering people to haul the meat and take the shipments off the boat and have it processed and things like that.
Zip was too excited to talk. He's just staring at him like with a huge grin.
Everyone's just gonna give Zippo the scoot sign. Scoot, get him up there to the dragon.
Elbow Zippo. Come on, go on, talk to him.
Oh, right. Hello, sir. I am Zippo.
Are you talking?
Draconic.
Who are you
Yeah,
talking to? The dock dragon or Leet again?
Oh, Leet landed here too? I thought he was asking if Leet was with us. Sorry.
No, Leet landed on the dock and basically started checking in the boat with the dock master.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Then Zippo's gonna he's gonna just kind of scoot up next to Leet and be like, "Hello, sir. What's your name?" To the dock dragon.
Garethim. And you are?
I am Zippo.
He's with me, says Leap. Kind of over talking you. The Dockmaster says, Zippo, eh? So you're with Leet. Huh.
Yes.
I didn't know Leet had workers with him. Good to know. He writes something down on his clipboard and walks away.
Zippo's very excited. He'll look to Lee and be like, "Oh, I'm so excited. This place is amazing."
Leet cracks a smile and says, "So, you're good to go. Enjoy the city." All right, sorry, that's not his voice. So you're good to go. Enjoy the city.
Zippo will he'll be like real excited to let the rest of the party know and calm. Be like, "Hey guys, we're good to go now. We can go on, and see the city now." And as once the party gets ready to leave, he'll look back to Leet and he'll wave real big and smile like, "Bye, Leet. I'll see you later, buddy." He's very excited.
He raises one claw and waves like this at little Zippo. Goodbye, little one.
After he says goodbye, Zippo will turn around and just start looking around at all the other dragons if he can see them.
Can I have someone other than Zippo make a insight check, please?
I'm feeling insightful, but not fast.
I rolled a 15.
Okay.
28.
Roger, you notice that the only person he's referred to as Little One was Zippo. Belzian notices this too. Everybody else he just kind of addressed by name, but Zippo has always been Little One, not Zippo.
Interesting.
I wonder if he just forgot his name.
Did the claw wave seem sinister to anyone else? Just putting that out there.
And they say the knife ears are sinister too. You get used to it.
Okay, just it's a long way to have come to just eaten. So
I mean, there are smaller folk around here as well. So
Yarvik, think of the trip we saved them, flying all the way to Seregen just to eat somebody.
it's all for the greater good, I suppose.
I guess the other thing is, I would argue that any action from a dragon might appear sinister because everything you know about dragons is that they're awful creatures that are killing machines that will eat you at first sight, and you are now among them. So laughter from a dragon just seems sinister just considering it, right? So a dragon waving at you, even like this, just
It's not like they have retractable claws, right?
Right.
The claw is the only way they can wave.
So something that is sinister could also be fine, but could also be sinister. You don't know.
Zippo has blind faith in the dragons. Complete blind faith.
Belzian is impressed. He wasn't sure what to expect at first. Heaps of gold with dragons laying on them. No, these people seem very civilized, for lack of a better word.
I'm sure they have heaps of gold somewhere. And we shouldn't ask about it.
Perhaps not.
And Zippo is gonna pull out a little notebook that he's had, and he's gonna flip through the pages, and he's got Leet on one page, and on the back of the page with the very bad drawing of Leet, because Zippo's not a good drawer. On the back of the page of the very bad drawing of Leet, he's gonna do a little very bad drawing of Gareth, the other the dock dragon. I put Gareth above it.
Gareth him.
He's gonna put Gareth him and be second dragon friend. And then he's gonna do another really bad drawing of the one he only saw for a second and waved at and be possible second dragon friend in front of Gareth.
Okay.
He's gonna shut his little notebook, and he's gotten on Brunhild at this point. He's just staring at like every dragon around can probably tell Zippo staring because he's just wide-eyed staring at him, like very happy.
Okay. So most of the streets either go left to right along the the level of the terrain within the street that it's on. Some winding up left and right, while others seem to go up the incline at various travelable points. The city itself seems to meander. It doesn't have direct routes. It's not. It seems like it's been built on itself many times. I think more Roman than Austrian. In terms of, like, Vienna is very, like, it's built on itself, but they still continue to upkeep the street in the order that it is. It's very organized, whereas Rome is literally just a mismatch of, city on top of city, and city repurposed for city. It's very much like Rome than it is like Vienna.
When in Rome.
This place is pretty fucking old, so how are we gonna find our way to getting our message out there?
I think we just keep climbing up till we can't climb up anymore. I'm guessing whoever we need to talk to is going to be at the top of this thing.
That's a good bet.
Well, what did Leet say their leader's name was again? It seems to have slipped my notes.
Rift is the leader of the Bronze Clan. He is an ancient dragon and is unmistakable as per Elite. Anyone would recognize him on sight.
He's probably wearing a crown.
It never hurts to just ask.
Take us to your leader.
Does Ulrich see any small folk about?
Yeah, you see humanoids. You see kind of a mismatch of different races. It seems like human is the least of which. I mentioned, like, lizard folk, and you spot a few turtles. You're familiar with turtles in Seregen, so it's not like these races are not known to you. It's that they are very uncommon in Seregen. There's very small groups and very few of them. They're not rare necessarily, but they're uncommon. Where here it seems like they're very common.
Right. He tries to connect with one of them.
Okay. What do you say?
Excuse me. Sorry, no. I go up to him. I shove him, and I say I'm new in town. Nope, no one got that. Okay. I just go up to him. I'm like, "Hi, I'm sorry to bother you, but we're trying to find our way. Could you give me a hand?"
Hello, sir. How can I help you?
Yeah. So we are hoping to meet with.
This is a turtle, by the way.
No, I did gather. Yeah, that was a very turtly voice. We are hoping to meet with Ram, and I don't know whether that's something like if he holds audiences or.
I'm sorry. Did you say raft?
No, I said
It's
that
Rift.
I said Rift. I speak funny.
Yes, it seems like you do. It's a very strange accent. Where are you from?
I'm just wandering from out west.
Hmm. Well, if you wish to speak with Rift, you'll need to sort that out with the upper echelon. He tends to be in his palace up at the top of the city. I've never met him, but uh I hear he's terrifying.
That's, that's what you want your leadership to be, terrifying. That's good. Um, is there like a formal process that we would meet with the upper echelon, or what is the oh, and in addition, I should say, what's the fastest way up there? Is it just a walk or?
Well, it generally helps if you have somebody to vouch for you and to talk to him, but I suppose if you ask, they might be able to tell you more. I've never needed to talk to him, so uh, uh do you have any friends in the city?
Question: is there any dragons around while Ulrich's talking to that guy?
Um,
Like that I could go up and just start talking to?
I
As
mean,
Zippo?
most dragons are not really walking around the streets. They might hop from level to level or things like that. Right now, there's not really any nearby.
Okay.
It seems like you're in a smaller street, if that makes sense. So
Yeah,
you're
gotcha.
amongst smaller creatures. I mean, there's some people tending to like some dinosaur mounts and some other things like that in a stable, and whatnot. You haven't seen a horse yet, which is interesting.
Have seen any more Brunhilds around?
No dogs either. In fact, Brunhild's getting some looks.
Wait. So you said like mounts, like like saddles and stuff,
Yeah,
but not for horses.
no.
Are they like dragon size?
No, they're like beast size, like the beasts you've been seeing as you've traveled.
Hmm.
Oh, is there anything I can help you with now? I've got to go.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry to have taken up your time. Thank you very much.
He just walks off.
That was kind of rude, but that's fine. Um,
You'll
I'm
notice
wondering.
that the turtle didn't have any markings on him like many of the the elf that spoke with you once upon a time detailed that generally you'll recognize barbarian clans by their markings on their forearms.
Yeah, Leech
All
shows
right.
his.
Okay, interesting. Well, um, yeah, we're gonna have to meet with the echelon. Um,
The echelon.
that that may or may not be an easy thing, and then that can get us a meeting with Rift.
After you say we have to meet with them, Zippo's gonna be like clapping. He's like, "Yay, more dragon friends!"
Yeah, you're gonna like this one, Zippo. This echelon is described as, and I quote, terrifying.
He's like more excited. Like his smile didn't look like it could get any bigger, but it did.
That's too many teeth.
I'm already a little bit terrified.
Do you think maybe it might be worth it to find a local alcohol serving establishment and do a little recon for what the regular local non-dragon population thinks. Kind of get the lay of the land before we just roll up onto the gate. Just putting that out there.
For information gathering.
You thirsty there, Yarvik?
Well, Yarvik, I am always thirsty. I'm always looking for new opportunities to find, sausage du jour. But if we can get everybody. This seems to be a working town. We don't see slaves in the streets or anything like that. But just maybe get a little bit of a perspective before we go on up there. What do you think?
That seems like a sound plan so far.
Sure.
You guys go do that. I'm gonna go meet more dragons. And Zippo's gonna just start walking off on Brunhild or riding off on Brunhild, just looking around, just trying to see if he can find a way to find more dragons.
Okay. All right, so I guess let's round robin this. Who is doing what? We know what Zippo's doing.
Ulrich will, when Zippo rides off, Ulrich will try and he'll just look at the others and go, I'm just gonna follow 10 paces behind him, just in case.
Are you saying that the three of us don't need babysitting?
So babysitting at all. I'm just kind of thinking, I don't want him to have fun. I don't want to be a stick in the mud for him, but I also, if someone tries, well, on the other hand, he'll probably just murder him. But anyway, if anything funny happens, it never hurts to have an extra hand.
All right.
Be sure to let us know if there's any trouble over the rings.
Will do.
I suppose we would be seeking some kind of directory or directions to a watering hole.
That'd be useful. We may also want to find shelter for the evening.
Maybe we can check both boxes there. Also, I feel like the local watering hole in any given city is probably going to be pretty easy to find, right? I mean, usually there's going to be a sign with a bottle of suds on it. So maybe off a main thoroughfare. I don't know if we want to go down to back alleys. I don't know if we want a place too seedy. You know what I mean?
No, this place seems pretty friendly so far.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got 2 and 3. Who would like to go first?
I'm okay with going first.
All right, so it's going to be Ulrich and Zippo first. Go ahead.
Zippo will since we're in a smaller street, is there a way to get up to the bigger streets where it would look like a dragon woodland probably?
Sure. There is still some activity, although you're seeing less and less of dragons landing, coming home from work presumably, or in some cases you actually see some dragons bringing in food for home. Some of it being a partially charred carcass. There's even one dragon you spot lands kind of pulls a chain by the door, and the door opens and a dragon seems to take the charred carcass and pays the dragon, and the dragon flies off again.
I love it. I'm super excited. If none of them land, Zippo's gonna go up to a house, or what he assumes is a house, and try to knock on the door.
Okay. Are you just knocking on any old door, or are you knocking on the door of the area that just got delivered to? Like, what's the?
Yeah, any old door.
All right, roll a d6.
5.
Okay. The fifth door you come to, you decide that one looks pretty. It's got a blue paint job on it with an intricate silver design. And you knock. The door feels thick and is towering over you. It's large, so it's a 10-foot by 10-foot door. It kind of reminds you a bit in size as the doors that you were kind of facing off in the previous dungeon that you had, but you quickly shake those thoughts off as a human pulls the door open and peeks out.
Hi there, I'm Zippo.
Hi, how can I help you?
Yeah, I'm trying to meet with the Rift, I think is what. Yeah, Rift. That's what Leet said his name was. The leader of the Dragon Clan.
And you came here.
This was the first door I got to that looked like someone might be home, and I don't know how to meet with him, and I'm very excited to meet more dragons. So I was just wondering if you knew of a way I could probably try to meet with him.
Well, I'm a dragon, and he shows his symbols. His whole arm is covered in bronze, intricate pattern.
I'm hoping to be one eventually, but I'm actually here on a different matter to start with. But I would love to join the clan as well. And I was just wondering if you know a way I can meet with Rift. It might not be tonight because it is getting pretty late, I would assume, for him.
The way I joined was that Rift tested me and my group, and we were given access. I assume he'll do the same. We didn't need any invitation. We just went there asking to be admitted, and after an interview and some tests, we were given passage into the clan.
Okay, good. Then was gonna pull out his notebook and write that down. And he's like I don't know if the guy's like watching Zippo or anything, but if he's like looking at Zippo, he can see Zippo's like super excited. Like it almost looks like he's not gonna be able to sleep. He's so excited. And then Zippo, like after writing it down, look up to him and be like, I'm assuming Rift would be at the top of like this area of places that I need to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cool. And he'll be like, okay. I don't know how far back Ulrich is. Like, if Zippo probably not even noticed him at this point. Like, he still hasn't. I'm just gonna like, as he's looking down, he's like, one last question. Sorry, and I know it's probably late for you and you're going to bed. But and he'll point at the dragon thing, the symbolage on his arm. Like, did that hurt a lot?
No, not at all.
Perfect. Sorry. I know I said the last one was the last question. I'm just really excited. And he'll like point down to Brunhild. He'll be like, "Do you think they'll let Brunhild be part of it too?" And he'll like his pet on Brunhild.
If Brunhild answers the interview questions and passes the test, then I don't see why he wouldn't be.
Perfect. And he'll look down. He'll like pet Brunhild. Like, hear that, girl? You're gonna be a dragon too, even though you already are.
Girl, her. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. People do it all the time.
I don't understand. I don't understand your creature's anatomy. Never seen one.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of creatures that I haven't seen before here. Like, and he'll pull out the very awfully drawn picture of a T-Rex and be like, "This creature was really cool." Not much good in a fight, though.
The figure is kind of stifling a smile, trying not to be impolite at the picture.
Zippo will be like, "Well, thank you for your time, my friend. I'll let you go. Do you know actually of a place I can find to stay in, like, because my rest of my party's in like the lower area, and I think that's where they're trying to stay at."
You could stay with me.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's very kind of you. There is I think there's 6 of us, 5 of us.
Oh, I'd
5
be
of
happy to
us.
have all of you.
Cool, cool. Let me just send them a message and
This is
let them know.
all in Draconic, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, Zippo's just naturally speaks Draconic here.
Yeah, just making sure.
Yeah,
Over the ring.
the human seems to be speaking perfect Draconic back to Zippo.
Yeah.
Over the ring, Zippo like thinking like for the rest of the party, be like, hey, I might have found us a place to stay with this cool dragon dude I just met.
I'm immediately on the ring, just like, hey, is it like an inn? Is it or just some random dragon you met?
Seems to be his house, I would assume.
Okay. Can you ask if do me a favor? Could you ask him why he'd be willing to let in, a bunch of strangers into his house?
It's because he's a dragon, alright. Come on now, they're too awesome not to.
Yeah, well, that's a good
When
point,
you guys
buddy.
come up here, you can ask him yourselves.
Sure. You know what? I think I saw you turn down a corner a little bit. I got to wondering myself. Give me a second. And Ulrich is going to wander over that way, emerging from the one shadow that he was able to find.
Sure. Since Zippo wasn't making any spot checks, it's just you were just out of sight, but not out of sight. You were just kind of standing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Zippo, there you are, buddy. Hey.
Oh, hey, Orc. Then he'll look to
Hey.
the guy, to the.
I'm
dragon guy.
honestly, just because I know how invested Zippo is in this conversation, not even going to have you roll a deception.
Thank you. Hi there. My name's Ulrich.
Oh, hello.
Gracious-
What a handsome looking man you are.
Oh, thank you. I get that all the time. So I had I understand. My friend and I have a special way of talking. Um, you're opening up your house to us.
Yes, of course.
Could I ask, and forgive me, as you can imagine, we are not.
He's
From
speaking.
the
He
town.
switched immediately to common as soon as Ulrich started speaking common at him.
Very nice. So why are you? You don't know us. Why are you interested in us staying in your house? Why would you? Like, what if we were from one of like the Axe clan or something like that, and you,
Well, all of our clans are aligned. If you were from another clan, I would be hospitable the same, maybe even more so. But I also know that you are not of a clan.
yep, you're right about that. So I guess then I don't mean to be ungrateful to the offer, but where we come from, people usually are looking for something in return for a favor. So, are you looking for something in return? Why are you opening your house to us? Since you don't know us.
He shows all of his teeth and says, having you would be all the payment I need.
Yeah. Could you having us stay with you would be the payment that you need?
Yes.
Ulrich's just, kind of eyeing this guy and, just trying to kind of like get a sense on, is it a language thing? Because then maybe he just has Yarvik in the back of his head a little bit too much. But having you is like, oh, I'm having my friends for dinner.
You're wondering
That
where the
the
comma
animal-
is.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And Ulrich's trying to kind of like get a pulse check on this guy as far as.
So you're looking for you're rolling a insight check.
If you wouldn't mind,
Yeah.
please and thank you. How about a 21?
Oh yeah, he wants to eat you.
Okay.
he's been licking his lips. I'll point this out now out loud. The man is fully naked. He's got.
Oh, okay.
I messaged you this, but
I'm sorry. I was just on the. I have one tab open and not the other, so
yeah. He's fully naked when he answered the door. The door is large, and he's a medium-sized person, and he's smiling with all of his teeth, quite a little too much. It starts putting. I don't know if it's like the prey versus predator like ringing sounds in your head, but like you're not you obviously are not ignoring those. There's warning bells going off, both in and out of character.
Yeah, I mean, I told Zippo too many teeth when he smiled too big earlier. This guy, when you said he showed all his teeth, I was like, oh, that doesn't sound good either. Yeah, I think Ulrich, for some reason, just kind of like wasn't really. He was kind of too focused on Zippo, and then like kind of just naturally met this guy's eye, and now as he's trying to kind of like get a bead on him, kind of begins to go, oh, wait a second, that's a penis, and kind of like, hey, and in the ring says, Zippo, did you notice anything strange about this guy? Maybe
Is it
right
the fact
at
that
you.
he's naked?
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
dragons are naked. I don't ever see clothes on them. What are you talking about? That's normal for dragons.
Yeah, but okay, all right. So here's the thing, buddy. I really think that he's not stable and or would like to.
Is this in the ring?
Oh, for sure in the ring. Yeah,
just making sure.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Ulrich is just kind of going, that's just super nice, talking out loud. That's just super nice of you. I gotta say, some of the other clans are not so accommodating. For whatever reason, they didn't want to have us over, and things like that. But he's thinking at Zippo, just like, look, I can't prove this to you, but I think he wants to eat us.
I don't know.
How about we just like, why don't we go meet someone else first? Like, there's so many other dragons out there, buddy. Like, why just talk to this one? We go talk to another one.
That's true. There might be a whole dragon bar.
Yeah, there sure could be, and they might enjoy the feeling of clothing.
As soon as Zippo thinks whole dragon bar, he just starts wandering off. His brain is one track right now. He just starts wandering off.
What? Yeah, Ulrich is like, oh, hey, sorry, I forgot. He and I have an appointment somewhere else. It was very nice to meet you.
Are you sure?
Well, I mean, it was fair to Midland to meet you.
Fair enough. Well,
Okay.
have a nice
Would
day.
you too. You too.
And he kind of watches you all go. Doesn't close the door.
All right. Running away as fast as I can. I mean, walking as fast as I can, the opposite direction.
Okay.
Yeah. I gotta look at my other Discord messages when that comes in. That was a very important message. But I think it worked out well all of a sudden.
I liked it. It was good.
Yeah. I mean, I also just would have I thought I was being so cocky by going like, oh, thank you. Everyone tells me I'm handsome. I could have fucking leaned into the you too, stud. You know. All right. I go chase down Zippo.
All right. I'm going to move over to the other group. Okay. So, y'all are looking for a pub to crawl?
Yeah. First we
and
pub
we're
crawl,
watching.
then we dungeon crawl.
First we pub crawl, then we pub walk.
No, usually that's in the other order.
Oh yeah, it does kind of go backwards. So, Yarvik, speaking of Roger, we know that your order existed before the wall, and that there was some crosstalk. You think maybe there may be an existing remnant here in the city that you can make contact with? Would a bar be a good place to do that?
Maybe. If it's anything like Seregen, we may have to wait till sundown.
It's night.
Oh, it's nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In that case, I will find a relatively secluded place and light up a blue lantern.
Okay. You're easily able to light the blue lantern. How long do you plan on waiting? What's your conditional?
I'll give it, let's say, about half an hour. And if nobody comes in half an hour, I'll go seek out Belzian and Yarvik again.
Okay.
And I guess we're rolling out the main thoroughfare to see if there are any establishments of the alcohol providing variety.
We're in tourist mode, just pointing out every single shop or building or commode.
Exactly. Oh my god, do you see that dragon over there?
Wow, look at that place.
What wonderful neo-Gothic architecture.
I wonder how old this place is.
This place does feel just far more ancient than Jane. It's interesting to just think about that, the concept of a world that is far older than the one we're used to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still dealing with that. It's only been a few weeks.
It seems like a lifetime ago. And we wonder what has happened, but in reality, anything that it was going to change, it's probably just in the beginning part of even being changed. We've made good progress. It just doesn't feel like it.
I don't know about you, but I feel much more accomplished than when we started.
Not too long ago, we were killing kobolds in a mine, and now here we are in Dragon Central. I just it boggles the mind.
Pretty sure those were goblins, but yeah.
Suck goblins.
What a slip.
Yeah, Zippo's the kobold.
It's close enough for government work.
Okay, we may have to ask someone for directions for food and or lodging. If there's, other people on this street. Where even are we?
So you see, the area of the city that you're in is quite heavily populated with Dragonborn. It seems, and basically they're half dragon, half man. Basically scaled-looking humanoids with draconic-looking heads, tails. Some have wings, some don't. Most have horns sprouting from their heads in some shape or form. I'm going to say that, Roger, you don't seem to come up with anything with your blue flame. You don't even get any senses of any neighboring flames nearby. If there are flames in the city, they are not making themselves known at this time.
Alrighty. Well, if they are here, they know I exist, and they'll reach out to me if they want to.
But it was definitely worth a shot, and I respect you for
it. I'll go rejoin the rest of the party.
All right. Quite naturally, without much needing to talk to anyone, you see that many of the people that are out seem to be all heading in a similar direction, and you see that it turns out to be a large building with a sign outside that says "The Shattered Axe." It looks like well, it's the image of pieces of an axe flying in every direction with basically the words "the shattered axe" kind of exploding out from the pieces.
Bingo.
I feel like this logo for this establishment has graphic design is my passion kind of vibes.
The letters seem to be forming some other language as well as common. It seems like they somehow are able to show both at the same time through their design work.
That is so neat. Well, this place is as good as any. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Okay. So you enter?
Well, before we enter, perhaps send out some feelers through the rings to any other party members that might be listening. This is where you can find us.
I asked Zippo if he'd like to go join up with the others.
Sure, I guess, but on the way, Zippo's definitely looking for the dragon bar.
Okay.
One that's just dragons.
Wait, say that one more time?
He's looking for the dragon bar that's like not just dragons, but mostly dragons. Like,
okay. You'll talk to anything that's dragon-esque.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything that is dragon in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did we have dragonborn folk in Seregen?
No. Not unless somebody selected it as a race when we started the campaign. I'll put it that way.
Maybe I'm half elf, half dragonborn. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Probably not.
Yeah. Seems unlikely, but technically not impossible.
All right, so since Zippo and Ulrich are kind of behind the group at the moment, I'll describe the tavern itself. The tavern itself is mainly dragonborn and smaller races though the bar is being manned by, it seems like a silver dragon. The dragon is large in stature, in size, so a younger dragon it would seem. The dragon is tending the bar and serving drinks. Some dragonborns seem to be consuming a drink that's completely made out of fire. It's not burning on top. It is liquid fire. It seems to be being served out of a stone cask that the fire is poured into and then served. None of the humanoid other than the dragonborn seem to be ordering it. There seems to be a large dragon that seems to have drank quite a few. That takes up one side of the establishment. This one seems to be gargantuan in size and is taking up an entire section of the tavern. Chairs and tables have been moved aside, and a roped off area is laid there.
I
Can you
wonder
imagine
how.
trying to kick that guy out at the end of the night? Saying this over the rings.
Another thing you'll notice is that the roof is open air. There's basically most buildings have what seems to be like a dome, but the dome seems to be roofless at the moment, at least. It does look like it could be drawn shut, but it seems like that's a way that somebody could fly in and land into the establishment. The door is quite too small for this dragon to come in and out of. In fact, actually, now that you think about it, looking at the dragon and looking at the hole's too big, or too small as well. That dragon's way too big to get it through any of these entrances to the building.
Over the rings to Zippo. Zippo, but by the 12, it's the biggest dragon I've ever seen.
Zippo gets really excited and then looks down to Brunhild and is like, "Hey Brunhild, run."
Brunhild runs. Ulrich, you see Zippo kind of looking around, kind of sweeping back and forth across the street, taking in the sights and looking for dragons, craning his neck, and all of a sudden he just. I assume you said, "Hey Zippo," so you were messaging just Zippo with that. This is the biggest dragon I've ever seen. Fair?
Sure.
Zippo just kind of straightens, yells to Brunhild, "Run," and then goes in a straight line down the street.
I'm coming running. Oh, wait up for me, buddy.
Zippo, do you wait up for Ulrich?
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Zippo books it as fast as Brunhild's legs will carry her.
Okay. Now the only problem is you're not sure where that is. It takes you some time to find this location. They gave you a general description of where it was, but in your franticness, you kind of are beelining it to anywhere where you think might be this establishment, looking for the sign, getting more and more frustrated until finally you find it. Ulrich, give me a perception check, please.
Okay. Another 21.
Yeah, you're easily able to find Zippo, and he kind of doubles back a few times to find this location, which was really just one street down. He kind of went down the street quite a bit and then came back up and then went down a side street and then eventually finally made his way. So you kind of catch up and are able to kind of keep sight on him as he's wandering about. He's kind of gathers a bit of attention. This is a kobold, which you haven't seen many of, by the way. You've seen what might have been either a young lizard folk or maybe a kobold, but you've also not seen any dogs. You've seen some like large iguanas, but no dogs. So like this is kind of a rare sight in Illadrin, apparently, as he draws looks as he's frantically searching for this bar.
Nice. Yep. Catch up. I'm like, okay. All right. What got you so riled up, buddy?
Very big dragon. Very, very big dragon.
All right.
Belzian said in bar. And Zippo's talking just like that. It's like very short, to the point sentences as he's like, I'm assuming like we both met up in front of the bar at this point.
Yes. Yeah. So you're standing
Zippo's
below
like,
the sign that says the Shattered Axe, which you see, since you both know Common and Draconic, it says it in both words, or in both lettering, where the, those like details where like the negative space forms the word, and the positive space forms a word too. The pattern of the wording in Common form the Draconic lettering in the negative space of the explosion.
Nice.
So Zippo, you enter and see the same scene I described a moment ago with Ulrich falling behind you, and we will break for 10 minutes and come back to that scene. Okay?
All right.
So we'll be back at 9:04. Go ahead and water or unwater yourselves, and we'll be back in a little bit. Welcome back from the break. We are in the bar known as the Shattered Axe. Everybody is here, and even my cat Benji's here. He's ready to meet some dragons too. So go ahead and take the reins, everyone.
When Zippo rides in on Burnhill, he'll look to the barkeep or bartender. He'll look to them and be like, "Is she okay being in here?" I'm pointing at Burnhild.
The dragon tending the bar is far enough away that he doesn't hear you.
Then Zippo
It's
will
pretty
just,
busy in there, so
Yeah. So you said that the other dragon was a pretty big dragon that was, or a gargantuan dragon
yes,
that was like laying in like half of the bar.
yes.
Okay. Is he like asleep or is he still drinking?
He seems to be. He's nursing a fire drink, but he has several empty tankards, large tankards, laying nearby.
And nobody's talking to him, are they?
Nobody seems to be talking to him. He's kind of drinking in peace.
Okay. So I was gonna hop off Brunhild and have her sit at the door,
Okay.
and then he's going to walk over to the dragon. And you said it was what type of dragon? Like, it's like silver
Big.
scale. Like, yeah, no, I know it's gargantuan. I was just wondering, like, what color his scales were.
It seems to be brass in color.
Brass.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna go over and go up to like the front where you can talk to him and be like really excitedly be like, "Hi sir, I'm Zippo."
Okay. He kind of looks down at you, and says, "I'm not ready for a refill," and sips at his drink.
Oh no, I just walked into the bar myself. I just I came down and you look like you're a pretty cool dragon, so I figured I'd come over and say hi.
He kind of sniffs. Hi.
And Zippo will after he says hi back to him, Zippo will sit down and pull out his notebook and crudely draw him real fast and be like, "What's your name, sir?"
He pauses for a moment and he says, let's just say I'm known as Cognite.
Okay, so I'll write that down and be like, awesome, third dragon friend, let's go. Shut his book and be like, yeah, my other two are Leet and Garethon? Yes, Garethon.
He sips at his drink some more.
And then Zippo will go on like a little rant telling him about like the story of like so far of like, you know, all the creatures he's met in the Bronze Clan areas. And like showing very awfully drawn pictures of them. And then if he's fought them, he'll tell them about like, you know, how easy they were to fight if he's fought them.
Okay. The dragon seems to you know what? Make an insight check.
9.
Okay. He is hanging on to every word you say. He looks like he's very interested in your story and doesn't want you to stop.
Perfect. And then Zippo will start talking about how he met Perrin in the Axe Clan's grounds, and he's pretty sure Perrin's a shapeshifter of some sort, possibly I think it's a were-tiger, I think, or a lion. Which one was it that he was?
He was a lion.
Yeah, a were-lion. And then he'll start talking about telling the story to the giant tree. How the Axe Clan people are not as nice as the Bronze Clan people.
He says, "Hear, hear" to that.
And then he'll just keep like rambling on pretty much about like he's pretty much like telling everything, and then eventually when he runs out of stuff to tell about up here, he'll talk about meeting like the elves in the bottom area or the whatever the bottom area. I think it was not Relic, but
Necrata.
Necrata. Yeah, start talking about meeting the elves in Necrata.
Okay. I would say each month, each no, not each month, because it's only been like a month and a half. I would say it takes about 2.5 hours to tell your whole story.
Perfect.
And next time you tell that story, it'll probably be about 3 hours, and the next time after that, it'll be like 4 hours, and so on and so forth. So we'll track that as we go.
On each square of the chessboard, the story doubles in length. Will Zippo finish telling it by the end of the session?
The world
By
may
the,
never know.
Close to, or not even close, like by the end of his story, like after he gets done, and he'll be like, and then so all of that's why we're here to meet Rift, who from the people I've talked to seems like a super cool dragon. Have you met Rift?
By the time you have ended your story and finished, the dragon has gone several mugs further down into his alcohol consumption, and is quietly sleeping in an upright position, his face still turned toward you.
Oh.
It seems your story has lulled the beast to sleep. So during that 2 inspiration. During that 2.5 hour story time, what is the rest of the group going to be working toward?
Ulrich is just kind of trying to keep to himself, mostly. Just kind of watching his surroundings. He's not trying to work an angle.
Yarvik is going to go find a Yarvik-sized spot at the bar.
Yeah, Roger's gonna go up to the bar with Yarvik and attempt to order a drink.
I
Okay.
think we need a place to sit and inquiring about lodgings and then rumors or any way we can find to get closer to our target.
It turns out the barkeep is actually female, not male, as assumed from the bar entrance. Not knowing dragon anatomy, they kind of all look the same to you, but now that it's closer, and you hear the voice of the dragon, you kind of infer that the gender is female. What are you having, boys?
How's this place fixed for lodgings? Myself and my team here are interested in securing some lodging for the night, maybe a couple of nights.
We have some rooms available.
Okay, and what's the going rate?
15 gold a night would be the normal price. But since you're visitors in town, 15 gold.
You drive a hard bargain.
What savings?
Looks like we're over the rings. Looks like we're diving into the National Bank of Ulrich again.
Yeah, so it would seem.
All right.
How much for a round of ales?
Well, it depends on what you would like.
Water for me, please.
Nice and frosty. I don't think I'd be drinking one, but what is the fire drink that so many of the dragons are drinking here?
Oh, dragon's breath. Well, if you aren't of dragon descent, I do not recommend it unless you want to incur the damage it provides.
No. I think I'm okay. How about whiskey? Do they have whiskey here? I don't know.
They have several types of hard alcohols, though none by that name. But you guess at a name, which they're all in Draconic, so I'm not going to attempt to pronounce things in Draconic. There is what seems to be a black drink, a brown drink, and a red drink.
Brown.
Okay. The brown drink will cost you 10 silver or 1 gold.
I think a Yarvik size 10 silver serving would be appropriate. Well, I guess it's the same, but
Okay.
It's just 2 Yarvik size servings.
The mug that you're given is a 4-pint mug. It is the dragon blows a small breath on it, and it chills the liquid. It seems like she has a frost breath as her breath weapon of choice, which cools the drink. The drink is it tastes similar to a beer. It has a berry flavor to it. So it's a berry stout.
okay. All right, boys, saddle up. I'm gonna need some help here. Can we get straws? Like,
There are no straws.
Oh, come on, Yarvik, can't you lift that mug? It's almost as big as you are.
yeah, Yarvik's gonna have to like kind of stand up and figure out a way. It's just he's like bobbing for apples with this drink, but it is quite tasty.
Can I use the help action to try to funnel this down his face?
Keg stand.
Can I get some smaller mugs for my compatriots so we can share this fine beverage?
That's the smallest we have.
Hmm. All right, we're doing this the hard way.
I have a water skin.
Problem solving.
I'll fill some up in my water skin.
So as we're divvying up the drink, asking the bartender. So this seems to be a dragon centric establishment. Are there what's the lay of the city? Or are there other more medium sized establishments? How's the city laid out?
Well, this is fairly hospitable to all kind. There doesn't. It's bad business for a establishment to not be dragon accessible. It's actually against the law. Establishments can be fined if a dragon cannot enter their an establishment in their own form. Of course, there are some exceptions to some larger customers, and her gaze passes over the gargantuan dragon taking up one side of the establishment. Those dragons will have to make their own accommodations, of course, or visit larger establishments such as Rifts up at the Echelon.
Oh, who runs that place?
Well, that is the city center. It is where our leader, Rift, resides. He tends to house guests himself. We don't actually get many people here that stay at taverns. Most people have homes here or rent homes or stay at the Echelon itself. That's why I have an extra rooms available for you. I'll move some things out of storage.
Okay, but what kind of dragon is Rift? What kind of the city seems to be a very egalitarian place. Kind of everyone gathers and seems to be welcome.
Well, he's a fair
Is
dragon. I'd say that's the kind of dragon he is. He has led us right so far. Why do you ask?
Is Rift also a bartender?
No, but he's our leader. He doesn't tend bar. He has the capacity to host, of course, but that's quite another role.
How does one go about seeking an audience? If we were to say on our journey, say we wanted to visit Rift, how would we go about that?
Do you have any patron here in the city?
Yeah, about that.
No, we do not.
Well,
Is that required?
No, it does tend to grease the wheels a bit. No, you can approach the Echelon and announce your intent, and well, they will accommodate you in time. I assume you mean to meet with Rift since he is the topic of conversation. May I ask why? Do you offer trade or gift or what? I know the wall is down. Are you from the south? You don't seem to know our customs.
From the west.
Oh. I assume you met with some hardships crossing. The black dragons are to the west, of course. Or do you mean from the northwest?
Our journey was long and circuitous, but it's been eye opening. We've had some ups and downs.
Fair enough.
After like a minute of the dragon being asleep, Zippo will call Brunhild over, or go get Brunhild, whichever would be easier,
Mhm.
and then go back to the dragon, and then go underneath the tied off section to where like near where the dragon is, and just kind of lay down on Brunhild next to him.
Okay.
And can you spell out his name for me? Because I
Sure.
don't know if I'm gonna spell it right in my notes. Thank you. Oh, it was Cognito. I heard something. I thought it was like like not Nito, but like something at the end. You know, like it's like Cognitosin or something like that. That's what I heard.
He
My
he
ears
said
are all-
cognito.
Ah, that's what it was. Like the double O's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like
but
like Zippo's just gonna lay down, like not like right on him because we're not that close friends yet, but next to him.
Excuse me. Hello, young one, little one. You hear the barkeep shouting out your direction as you've crossed the line.
Oh, hello.
Come back over on this side.
Oh, okay.
The-
I was
the-
gonna lay next to my new friend. but-
That rope is up for a reason.
Okay. Zippo will come back and then he'll lay like where he was sitting to talk to the guy where he was looking at him. He'll lay right there and then across, not like in the rope, but in front of the rope there.
Okay. She sighs and turns back to the. He paid good money for that area. I'm not going to have anyone trespass.
Our young friend is just a little excited.
Oh, he's your friend.
He is. He's with us.
Hmm.
So
Don't let him out of your sight.
well, we've heard quite a few people refer to him as Little One. So is there something special about him as far as what you're seeing? Is there some sort of connection here?
Well, the kobolds are the children of the dragons. That's what their true name is. That's why we call them little ones. They are distant relatives of ours, but they are lost. There are not many of them left in this land. Few have seen a kobold in real life, but let's just put it this way. I don't want anyone to collect him.
I'm sorry, collect him?
If there's anything I can tell you about dragons, is that rare things are attractive. And if your friend likes dragons, well, he might not leave the city without being the company of a dragon for a long time. Especially if he's amenable to it.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
This does not bode well for our timetable.
Saying over the rings, well, shit.
Yeah, over the rings. Zippo, come hang out with us over here.
Okay, and he'll have Brunhild stay there because he's planning on going back there to lay back down next to his new dragon friend. And he'll hop up as best he can up to the top. And just to confirm what I'm thinking here, is the bartender also a dragon?
Yes.
Okay, he's very excited when he gets up there, and he like looks up to her, and he intercom. He's like, "Hello, madam. What is your name?"
Fiona.
And he'll pull out his book, and he'll draw a picture of her that's not very good, and write Fiona, 5th dragon friend.
She, as I said before, is a silver dragon, it looks like.
Perfect. After he writes 5th dragon friend, he's gonna just sit there and just in amazement, just keep looking at her and just trying to talk with her, about all the dragons he's met so far and how excited he is to be here.
She chuckles mirthfully at Zippo's amazement at everything. It does. She does seem genuinely pleased to be admired in such ways.
So, thinking over the ring. So we've got a bit of a double-edged sword. I feel like Zippo provides us an opportunity for a fast track to Rift. But there's also a very real danger in that. In that we don't want him to get sucked into or absconded with while we're here. So, thoughts?
I mean, the safest course of action would be to leave right now. But that doesn't help us accomplish what we came here to do. I think we should have a plan for going to meet Rift and assume that Zippo will get us in the door and that we will have to get him back out.
So you mean normal?
Let's wing it.
Yeah.
Well, we can come up with a plan for what we want to say.
It is also night and we have traveled all day, so maybe we'll want to head to our lodging where we can maybe discuss further before we bed down for the night.
Sure.
Oh. While everybody's thinking in the ring, Zippo, while he's talking to Fiona, he's going to point over to Cognito and be like, "So, I've heard Rift was a pretty big dragon, too. Is he bigger than him over there?"
You asked Fiona that?
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Zippo's so excited. He's like, "Yay!" I'm super ready. Every dragon I've met so far has been awesome. And he'll pull out his little sketchbook and he'll point out all the creatures and he'll be like, "This one right here," and he's pointing at the very badly drawn picture of the T-Rex, very badly drawn. He's pointing at, be like, "That one, I killed 2 of those earlier on our way here." And then he'll go to the one that's the very bad drawing of a Leoplorodon, I think is the one we fought in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And you should have seen what he did to the colored pencils.
He'll pull this out and he'll he's pointed at her. I turned that one into a cat since it was in water and then tossed it really far into land and then unturned it from a cat.
Oh. Interesting.
Yep.
I don't recognize any of those creatures.
Ah, you must not. They were outside the city. I've never seen them before either. I really wanted to stop and, collect some things to, have proof other than my drawings here, which are amazing. But I couldn't because Fred was just pulling the boat so fast. I like Fred. I gave him a lot of treats.
When would you like your lodgings? I am slightly busy at the moment. She's been seeing to other customers while she's been conversing with you folk, but I could arrange for your rooms to be set up in the near future if you'd like.
That would be acceptable.
How many are you looking to accommodate?
Just 5.
Don't necessarily need 5 rooms.
I mean,
No, I'm sure we could
both of
probably.
us into one room. Yes. How big
Yeah,
are the
in
rooms?
fact, I would say the fewer rooms, the better.
Yeah,
As long as you got enough beds.
and I'm assuming they're dragon-sized rooms, so
Ulrich, Zippo, and Yarvik can all sleep in a room closet. They'll fit. We tried.
We put them in a dresser once, I believe.
yep. Just put me in a dresser, I'm fine.
So
Zippo and I will need full beds.
so two rooms?
5
How
beds,
big are the
2
rooms?
rooms. 5 beds and 2 rooms. Can you do that?
Do any of them have like a pull-out couch? You know.
I
Dragons
can
have
have those beds set up. I assume all medium beds. No one is in another shape, are they?
No.
No other shapes.
I'm in pretty good shape.
I am definitely a shape.
I'm just making sure. I want to make sure you are all comfortable. And she and a dragonborn comes up from it seems behind her, maybe in the kitchen, and she talks in Draconic to him. Zippo, you recognize it. That she's giving him instructions as to what the group just asked for, and he
This whole
to
time
set that up.
Zippo's just been talking in Draconic. Like,
Yeah.
he hasn't spoke one word of common yet.
Okay.
Anywhere. He is very happy to be here. After she gives the order for him to go set up the rooms, Zippo's gonna hop back down and go sit next to Brunhild, petting on Brunhild, just like looking at Cognito from across the road. He's not going in the road.
Okay. Cognito seems to stay in that sleeping position with his head still hung toward the direction that you were back when you were telling the story. Without really moving or whatnot, just kind of taking deep breaths every once in a while. Seems like that dragon's breath really did the trick.
Perfect.
The Dragonborn comes down within maybe 15 minutes and says that your rooms are ready. Your rooms are ready, sir, he says in Draconic to you.
Zippo let the rest of the party that the rooms are ready.
Yeah, he doesn't actually, even though Ulrich obviously paid Fiona, he came to you and told you that the rooms were ready.
Speaking of, though, how much am I actually paying at this point?
If it's 2 rooms, it's 15 each.
Great. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, Zippo will stand up, and after that's the party note, he'll look up to the. Has Zippo seen a Dragonborn yet?
The room's filled with them, so I would hope so.
Okay. Zippo's gonna be like, he's gonna be talking to the Dragonborn. He's like, so what's your name? I'm Zippo, by the way.
Oh, I had his name. All right. It is Zedrix.
Zippo's gonna like pull out his notebook, do a very crude drawing of Cedric and or Cedric's, and be like, awesome, sweet. We're dragon friends now. Because you're a dragon. It's awesome.
Yes.
You guys are awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
And he'll
Just doing my
reach out his
job.
hand to shake. He'll reach out his hand to shake Cedric's hand because he's the first one that's like. I'm assuming Cedric's is like medium size.
Yes.
Okay, he's the first one. He's actually like size of comparable, able to shake hand. And like, if I could shake your hand, that would be great.
When you get to your room, he offers his hand and says, "It's a pleasure to meet you,
Zippo.
Zippo." Ah, Zippo and Zedrix. That's a nice ring to it.
It is cool. Yeah. And he'll be like, "Bye, Zedrix," and he'll wave after shaking his hand very excitedly, and he'll ride Brunhilde into late.
The rest of you following the two?
Where are they going?
He led Zippo up to the rooms when
Yeah, I'm not letting Zippo go anywhere by himself.
yeah, so he led Zippo upstairs, and Zippo and him were talking in Draconic the whole time. Ulrich, you see that they're led to a room, and Zedrix motions to another room when after they shake hands, pointing out the two rooms that you have.
Ulrich will still go to the room that Zippo is going to.
Okay. Inside are 2 beds, and some simple accommodations. Normal room, medium sized.
Zippo will hop up on one of the beds and have Brunhilde hop up there, and then he'll take her saddle off and everything so she can get comfy. And like curl up next to her, and like the little how dogs like walk around for a second and curl up. She does that, and then Zippo does almost the same motion just to lay next to her, curl up.
I think after everybody checks out their room, we probably a good idea to convene back in Ulrich and Zippo's room to kind of discuss what the plan is.
The road to Rift.
So what do we think? I mean, I'm not really comfortable with using Zippo as bait, but it definitely does seem like the easiest way to get us a direct audience with Rift, which is ultimately the goal of coming to Illidan in the first place.
Well, the goal is to get an audience with the meeting of all of the clans, right? We were just told that the Bronze Clan would be the easiest and most accommodating of outsiders.
If he's an ancient dragon, I mean, if we can get sway with him, maybe he can call a kind of a meeting of the clans kind of thing. I'm just reaching here.
I have no doubt that is within his power.
Agreed.
I think convincing him to do anything is going to be hard. And our current argument right now is the elves of Necrata don't want to go to war, and the humans of Seregen don't want to go to war. And we would like very, very desperately to attempt to broker peace between Relic, Seregen, and Necrata, but don't have the political influence of our own to make that happen.
I mean, if he's a fair guy, we just tell him that. Fair dragon.
Dragon guy.
I mean, that seems fair to, to chat with him about it. I mean, we were sent here for a reason. This was our best possible path into negotiating peace is meeting with the brass dragons. we just have to be careful. Did I tell you? I didn't really want to talk about it. Well, I guess while everyone's around, and I didn't really think about telling you over the rings, but I mean, the guy Zippo wanted us to stay with absolutely wanted to eat us. He answered the door, buck naked, and wanted to eat us. I mean, we got to be careful.
Don't dragons usually not wear clothes?
Yeah, okay. I mean, like obviously, it's a societal norm, but he was in a human form.
So
Okay,
naked and hungry are the ones.
imagine if I opened the door naked and clearly wanted to eat one of you. That would probably bring up some conflicting feelings in you. And
I knew it. I knew they were going to try to eat us.
yeah, you were in the back of my head the whole time, and I was like, well, shit. I think Yarvik was right. It's anyway. We are gonna have to be careful.
I mean, they only
Tasty,
promised
but
not to eat us
intrigued.
as soon as we arrived, but now that we've arrived, we could be fair game.
I mean, but he was real polite about it. I mean, I have to assume if he's just
You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar.
They say that, but that's actually not true. You for whatever reason, you do actually catch more flies with vinegar.
Depends if it's apple cider vinegar.
That's
If you-
exactly. That's
If you
trick.
put enough sugar into the vinegar, it becomes basically honey.
That is, that's not true. But you and I have a different feeling on honey. I like the stuff that bees vomited up. Anyway, we have to push forward. If we're gonna get things fixed, meeting with Rift is the only path forward.
We
I
need
guess we
his
just.
inputs.
So
Go ahead.
is the plan just tell him straight up the thing that we
Yeah.
plan on doing and hope that he's okay with it?
I mean, I don't know we don't know the guy well enough, and I don't know we have a lot of time to get to know him better.
Everybody seems to say he's a straight shooter. I mean, look, being relatively honest has gotten us this far, so I may as well give it a shot.
Yeah.
Worst thing is we get eaten, but at least we get eaten by a dragon. I mean, not everybody gets to say they got eaten by a dragon.
As exciting as that sounds, we also have the other conflict of the little ones. What if our friend and compatriot here basically gets kidnapped by an ancient dragon?
We can break him out.
We ain't got time for that.
Zippo's asleep at this point, but I do also want to point out, whenever Zippo was talking to Cognito, he told him the whole story. There was no lies in Zippo's story. He told him everything for the 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
so
but
if anybody
how
was
much,
listening, Zippo told him everything.
but how much of that was he awake for?
Fair, valid. He was drinking and also going to sleep. I feel like it needed to be pointed out that Zippo has yet to lie to a single dragon he's met. He tells them everything. So out of character, Zippo's for sure going to tell Rift when we meet him everything down to the smallest detail.
It's worth mentioning, if we need to be deceptive in any way, give me a week and I'll blend in just like a local.
How would you do that? Are you gonna grow scales?
I have expertise in fitting in places. Maybe even ones where I don't belong.
I see.
Yeah, Zippo's asleep now because he's so tired from being so excited that he's just out of it with Burnhild.
And if even in the worst case, if Zippo decides he wants to be with the dragons, it's not like we're gonna be able to stop that from happening. You see you saw what he did to those T-Rexes, and the Hydra, and the Leopolodon, and the Gorgon. Well, I think I'm smarter than the Hydra and the T-Rex. I don't know how well I'd fare.
Yeah, he has like a tiny little nuke.
He puts the atom in the atom bomb because atoms are tiny.
Very atomic.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, we just offer Zippo up. He'll probably be okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem kind of harsh. I mean, we should at least make sure that Zippo is okay with this. But like you said, I don't think there's a chance in hell he's not okay with it. But
So our true test, perhaps, is to convince Zippo to keep coming around with us so we can meet the rest of the leaders if need be. Rift may not be our final destination here.
I mean,
true.
Convincing the clans to be peaceful instead of fighting everybody would be the biggest possible dunk on the Axe clan.
And that's really what it's all about. Just getting one over on the Axe clan.
Yeah, more like
I mean,
Zippo has got to be interested in at least that, and it's not like the dragons are gonna, grow old and die off or anything. They'll still be here. Zippo can always come back and live with them after we've finished dunking on the vampires in the Axe clan.
The irony of saying this in a place called the Shattered Axe is just...
yeah.
And out of character, it would also be like a mega dunk on Marius as well.
Is that out of character though?
It might be Zippo sleep talking.
Yes. Take that, Marius.
It'd be a real dunk on Gerard.
That guy's already dead.
You know how hard it is to dunk on dead people?
We had his head for a while.
You know how hard it is to dunk on half giants?
Well, you know what they say about heads. You let them go, and if they come back to you, they really do love you.
Elsian rubs his neck awkwardly.
But yeah.
So, do you think we should seek an audience with Rift
Yeah.
ASAP, or do we need to wait a while and plan?
I don't think we have any more planning to do. If our plan is to just go in and say why we're here and hope it's good enough, then there's no point in wasting time on it.
I agree. Speed is of the essence. The less time we're in this city, the less time one of us is going to have to give up a tasty thigh.
I agree.
Yeah, and worst case scenario, we get rejected before we even get there, and we would still rather know that as early as possible. So
Yeah, hopefully there's not like a waiting list.
well, if there is, Zippo seems to be in with some dragons.
He has many dragon best friends.
Well, sounds like we have a plan.
Good. World peace cannot wait.
I'm already feeling warm and fuzzy. And with that, Yarvik is going to retire to the bedroom, the lodging, and crash out. If you need me for a watch, I'll take second watch.
Hey, Roger, I think you should be in the room here with Zippo. Just because you sleep weird. And
It's
by
true.
weird, I mean you sleep less.
Not at all, actually.
Right. Well, trance, right? Words.
What I do is called meditation.
Right. So you should meditate here.
Yep, that sounds wise. I can keep an eye on Zippo. May not be a bad idea to have a second set of eyes. Um,
All right. So, who's first and who's second? Or is there watches, or what's the plan?
I think we really only need watch for the purpose of keeping an eye on Zippo. I think we're probably reasonably safe here.
I
Last
can
time, sorry, go ahead.
say I could take 2 watches as long as I get my 4 hours of trance. So somebody else can keep an eye on Zippo while I'm doing that.
Yeah, Ulrich will do at least one.
Cool.
Zeppo has absolute blind faith in dragons, so he's just out of it.
Belzian must sleep as well, because his player will be right back.
All right. So I assume, Amos, you're trancing first, or Roger, I should say. And then you'll take over the rest of the evening?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So Ulrich, you keep watch over the area. As the night goes on, the inn grows quiet. You do feel the building rumbling in a rhythmic pattern. It seems like the large, or I should say gargantuan guest has, I guess, decided to stay the night and is resting probably in the same spot he was when you left him. Other than that, Zippo, I assume, does not, get up at all in the middle of the night. Is that fair to say?
Oh, yeah, Zippo's comfy. He's out of it.
Okay. And it seems like before long, it's the end of your watch. But before we get to that, Roger, while you are in a trance, your trance is wrought with a vision. A feeling that you've had since the earthquake seems to manifest itself. At first, it's just the feeling of disease as you trance, and then slowly you begin to see something as if in a vision. It seems to be a ball of light. The ball of light seems pure at first, like a shining star, but it throbs in an unnatural way. And with each throb, it seems to be growing slightly bigger, and its pulse is more organic than of light. Despite it being a ball of light, it kind of shudders in a liquid fashion. The image of the ball pans out some, and you can see that it seems to be... You get the hint of it maybe being in a clearing or a valley. For a flash of light from the ball emits, and it startles you awake. But also, Ulrich is shaking you awake at that point. So, and saying it's trance is over, buddy. I'll let him say that. But yeah, ultimately you're woken up by Ulrich at the same moment that that flash of light emits.
Trance is over, buddy.
So it would seem. Say, you ever get like unusual visions in your sleep?
They're called dreams. Do you not dream?
Not usually.
I mean, I've had all sorts of wild dreams. I dreamt that do you remember Flash, the horse that I had for part of the campaign? The military campaign. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dreamt he was he had the body of my father, but it was his head. And you know, I he that I was a child and he was raising me. It was very weird.
As a horse.
Well, he was raising me as a duck, but yeah, you get the idea.
Well, I won't put too much stock in it then.
Well,
Thanks
what'd you
for.
dream?
Oh, something about a ball of light.
Okay.
Like a heartbeat.
Oh, I mean, what it's worth, that dragon down there's snoring. I mean, you can kind of keep measure of time with it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Just being vibrated awake.
Yeah.
My hearing's a lot better than many of the dragons here, I'd gather.
What'd you say?
That too.
All right. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Yep, I'll keep an eye on Zippo.
Good luck.
At some point during the night, while you're keeping watch over Zippo and kind of getting a lay of the land and considering this vision you've just had, the snores seem to fade and stop. And then it's just a very quiet building after the loud snoring that you got used to.
Right.
And with that, unless you've got anything else you're doing.
No, not gonna. If I don't see or hear anything on the watch, I don't have anything I'm doing to keep myself occupied.
Okay.
Roger's taking this pretty seriously. Just like a watch out in the dungeon or in the wilderness.
Okay. Fair enough. Do you light a fire?
No.
Okay. All right. All right. So morning comes and you wake the group.
Zippo, as soon as he gets up, he'll run his saddle back on him, and then hop back on and immediately go downstairs to see if Cognito's still there or Fiona.
Cognito is nowhere to be seen, and since Cognito's pretty massive, he would be unmissable.
Gotcha. Zippo's like, man, I didn't even get to say goodbye. Hope I'll see him later. Is there a new bartender there, or is it Fiona again?
Nobody's currently at the bar. It is fairly early still. It seems like the hearth is cold at the moment, and There's no patrons at the bar at the moment or anything of that nature. It's fairly quiet.
Gotcha. And Zippo's just kind of waiting on the rest of the party so they can go meet Riff. And he's like super excited. Like he's like, if you're not like down at the door yet, he's like running back and forth on Broomfield, just back and forth up and down the stairs or up and down wherever the area is. I'm assuming there's stairs, but there might not be. He's running back and forth between the rooms and the door. Like, you guys ready? Come on, back and forth.
We're gonna get breakfast first, Zippo.
Zippo pulls out a ration. Here, breakfast. There you go. Let's go.
No. Real food. The dragons, I'm sure, eat real food for breakfast.
I mean, that's how they get so big. 3 square meals, drink their milk.
I mean, the rations are in the shape of a square.
No, it's gotta be everything, buddy. It can't just be a bit of hardtack.
Do you have any idea how square it has to be to make a dragon?
Very square.
You've been eating things square at the highest level, but I can see the individual pieces of jerky, and not a single one of them is square.
Fine, we'll wait.
All right, buddy.
Let's not wait for breakfast, though. Oh, Roger will lead the charge downstairs to go get something to eat.
I wonder what the sausage situation.
All right, so you go downstairs and are awaiting to be served. Go ahead.
Was a continental breakfast included?
Doesn't seem like that, as there doesn't seem to be anybody occupying the downstairs at the moment.
Oh, that's a shame.
Dragons have to eat something for breakfast. I mean, besides the obvious.
Well, guess we're going up with empty stomachs, or we can eat hardtack.
Well, that's just the way it goes.
A shame, too, because I was going to give this place a great review.
Careful, that stuff might give you chest pains. Or is it that chest pains lead to a heart attack?
Ouch, my left arm.
Now I understand what my dream was about. No hardtack. You will literally die.
Oh, you had a fun dream, Roger?
No.
Oh.
It's just a ball of light that was behaving like a heartbeat, and then Ulrich woke me up.
Yeah, back whenever I had Adrenal in that necklace before I freed him, I used to have really cool dreams whenever there were thunderstorms around. It was sad. It was like cool and sad because, like, you know, the lightning was happening, but it was sad because Adrenal was in pain. But he's free now, so it's cool.
There you go.
Maybe you got to go free a genie.
That should be our next stop after we go see Rift.
My thoughts exactly. Let's go see Rift. As he says that, Zippo's just walking towards the door.
Okay. The door, it allows you through. And you're able to exit the establishment. Is everybody going?
Yeah.
Yep.
Adventure awaits.
Okay. Without much trouble, you are able to make your way up through the city to Rift's building. The echelon, as most people have called it, is the highest point in this city. There is a great domed building on top, set into the peak of the mountain. There are many different landing spots in the area toward the base of the structure, and the structure seems to be built in a series of buildings similar to that of a palace. It even has it looks like there used to be statues that adorn the palace at various points, but all of them have been removed. You can see the bases of them are still there. And instead, there are kind of different sculptures of artwork formed from valuable looking things, kind of made in like modern art shapes. So like picture like somebody gets a whole bunch of gold knickknacks from an antique shop and turns them into modern art. That's what the sculptures look like. Just think of it, a lot of them, like a lot. So like one is like 3 great balls that are, it seems to be loosely formed through the like lamps and gold ornaments and globes and all kinds of different things, all kind of mashed into 3 balls that are like hovering above each other in a straight line as one, and then another one that's like a great arc with like a line piercing through it and things like that. But they're all formed from like small coins and large bits of golden treasures and things like that.
That would intrigue me.
Awesome.
It's
Zippo's, like,
strange
staring in
but
amazement.
beautiful. It's definitely not something you'd have in your living room, but it's cool to see.
It's collectible. How's the weather like for today so far?
It's hazy. There seems to be a fog that's kind of hugging the base of the mountain, but as you get higher, it's kind of clearing up top.
Gotcha.
You
Okay.
can
I'd
kind
make
of
sure it
see
wasn't
a
raining or
sea of
nothing.
clouds around you.
Awesome. Zippo's very ecstatic, and when he sees all like the statues that are all very shiny, he's like, his eyes just like glimmer. He's just so excited and happy. It's like, oh, I love these statues. They're so cool. I could collect all of them.
At the front entrance, a copper dragon seems to guard it. The entrance is large enough for a gargantuan creature to walk through. The doors are currently closed. 3 great claw marks mar what looks like was inlaid markings. In you can just make out that some of the markings appear to be giant in language, Ulrich. But they're mostly marred. You can't tell what it originally said. You just recognize a few symbols look giantish.
Thank you for getting to my question before I asked it.
Zippo excitedly walks up to the dragon.
Start your business.
Hi, my name's Zippo. We'd like to meet with Rift, if at all possible.
State your business.
I'd like to meet with Rift.
Why?
Oh, gotcha. I'm really excited. I'm sorry. You guys are really cool to see. I met one back at a bar, Bronze Dragon back at a bar earlier, or last night. His name was Cognito. He was really cool too. we would like to speak to him about. Well, the rest of the party would like to speak to him about like some cause and like treaties or stuff because we're from the west. So we'd like to talk about treaties. But I'd also like to see if I could go through a process to join the Bronze Clan because I love to be around dragons and you guys are all awesome.
Ah, you wish to join the Bronze Clan.
Yes, I do. I don't know about the rest of my party, but I do.
Initiates. And are you here with him? Or are you his sponsors?
I
We're here as diplomats,
yeah.
and technically he's with us, but kind of seems to want other things.
I'll put it this way. Are you initiates or not?
Which direction gets us to chance an audience with Rift?
Either. I'm looking for you to state your business.
Then we are here as diplomats only and not initiatives. Initiates, rather. Sorry.
All right. And where are you from? May I have your names?
We are from Seregen, west of the wall.
Do we give them our cool party name, or do we introduce ourselves individually?
I'm fine with individual personally, but whatever works for others.
We have a cool party name?
Tentative.
I'll go first. I'm Roger Mays. I speak for the elves of Seregen, and having spoken with some of the elves of Necrata, I will at least. I can't say I can make decisions for them, but I will at least be able to state some of their opinions.
Belzian Gilkis here, also from Seregen. I kind of feel like we're on a mission from the 12. We do need to speak to Rift, though.
I'm Ulrich Oakenhearth, and I am here to discuss the balancing of this world.
I am Yarvik, Venison Bringer, and I am here to discuss the same mission on behalf of the peoples of Seregen.
Is he still waiting on Zippo too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Zippo, like, very excitedly is still staring at him. Then when he realizes he's waiting on me, he goes, "Oh, I'm Zippo. I came with them also, but I don't really care that much about Sergeant. I really like dragons more. That's why, like, my whole purpose here was to meet dragons, and I've met dragons, and now I just want to, meet Rift to help them with their mission, and also possibly, befriend Rift like I have my other dragon friends, including you, good sir."
Do you have an offering? He looks around at the group.
We are not from your land. What offering should we bring?
It is just customary that a guest brings a gift to their host.
That is fair. I bring an offering.
And by the way, there are 6 of you. I do not expect 6 gifts.
That is very kind. I bring you.
Sorry. I think.
Over the rings. guys, I'm a little short on gifts.
I'm not sure what we could have that a great
I-
dragon such as Rift would want.
I
I do have this silver bracelet that I purchased for my brother, who I've not seen in a very long time. But
The dragon's
have
not your brother.
perhaps it would be more useful here.
Oh damn.
well, I mean that is good. I was gonna say I also have an Atlan gem.
Dragons do like treasure by report. I brought a book from Jane. Maybe Rift likes to read.
I noticed Zippo's fairly silent. Is he acting like a dragon and not wanting to give anything up?
Yeah, Zippo's like just kind of like looking around, and then he'll be like, the only thing he's willing to give up is the statue. The one that we're not sure of what it is, but the vampires seem to worship it, I guess.
A long time ago, we picked up a locket that had a picture of a turtle in it.
True, true.
Maybe it has value here.
Zippo will pull out the statue, be like, this is the only thing I have.
So
I guess this wouldn't be the best time to offer up like Hydra hide. Probably not.
Valid, valid.
So this is all out of character, I assume, conversation.
Oh, no, Zippo in character pulled out the statue and was like, this is all I have, guys. And he'll look to the bronze dragon and be like, I don't think this
Copper.
might be a good enough gift.
He's copper.
Or copper dragon, sorry. He'll look to the copper dragon and be like, I didn't catch your name.
I suppose I do owe you a name. You have given me yours. I am Brenge.
Bridge. Zippo opened up his book and write it down. Like, I'll draw a picture of you later, like I did the rest. So, and then, like, in character, like, he'll look at him and be like, okay, so that's Leet. That's Leet, Garathim, Cognito, Fiona, and Cedric. And now, you said Bringe. All new dragon friends. Heck yeah. And then after he writes it down, he'll be like, does this consider as a good enough gift? I got it from the Relic Lands. And he'll hold up the statue.
He picks up the small statue. Is you okay? She's being restless, sorry. And I will take your offering. Just wait here. And he pushes open a great... No, you know what? He doesn't push open the great door. He launches himself into the air, does a arc, does a great turn, and seems to gently dive into one of the domes up on top of the palace.
Zippo watches in amazement. Then he starts drawing a picture of Bringe.
About 5 minutes later, a great rumbling is heard from the doors, and they are pulled open, enough to allow you all entry into the location. You hear a voice of Brenge call out, You may enter.
Spo goes straight in, like, immediately.
Yep. Likewise, I'm not letting Zippo go anywhere on his own.
Yeah, fortunately, Belzian and Roger are fast enough that Zippo can't actually get away from us.
Yeah, we are being vigilant. Stranger danger.
All right.
Onward and inward.
All right. So in the entry chamber is an interesting scene. So it's a great entry chamber. It looks like it once could have been an assembly hall for an army, perhaps. It seems kind of military based. But in the center is a fountain. And this fountain seems to have been added to this area. It doesn't seem to have. It seems slightly out of place, but the stone is intricately carved and kind of shaped into this fountain. And in the center of the fountain seems to be the shapes of 10 giants. They're made out of stone, and the giants seem to be statues that were once positioned in specific ways, but as if to, like, say, a statue of a giant in mid-combat, but each statue was like in mid-combat in different positions, but the weapons have been removed from them and placed in a way where the weapons are piercing the statue that it used to own it. So like there's an axe that's like cleaving the head off of what was obviously like that. The statue looks like this, but there's no weapon in its hand, and instead the axe is cleaving through its neck. And it's a gruesome scene of these 10 statues basically being destroyed by their own weapons. Presumably, those gold statues that you saw outside, these statues have been removed from those sites and placed here.
Interesting. If this is the kind of decor that he has, I think we will find a good audience here.
Things are looking promising.
One moment, I gotta let Benji out.
So they're hitting themselves with their own weapons.
Okay. Lord Rift has granted all of you an audience.
Lead the way. That was very excited, by the way. Like, Fringe can probably see like how excited Zippo is. He is grinning like pretty much ear to ear at this point.
All right. So I've got a drawing of Rift that I'm going to put in OOC. So you are led down a hall and take a left and a right and enter a throne room. A throne room with, by the way, no throne. There is a pedestal where a dragon larger than Cognito in the broken axe, the shattered axe was. He's a bronze dragon through and through. And he looks at the approaching party expectantly. Rift gleams with polished scales, has treasures amongst the room, and the offering that you've given him is placed on a pedestal in the center of the room where you are led. Sorry, I've been talking a lot today. Greetings, adventurers. I am Rift, leader of the clan of the Bronze. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And an interesting party. An introduction that I was surprised of. Brenge says that you are emissaries, ambassadors, and some of you may even be interested in joining. I welcome you to this land, and I am glad that you have made it safely thus far to my chambers, so that we may chat. Speak your piece. I am all ears.
Zippo starts talking in Draconic and starts laying out the whole story from beginning until someone
He
stops.
said that in a comment, by the way.
Yeah. Roger will give a diplomatic bow, and let Zippo get maybe a sentence or two in before cutting him off. We're here from Seregen, and all of the things Ren just told you is true. We come here to seek peace between not just our people and your people, but between all of the peoples of this world.
All the people.
We've heard from elders in Necrata of what things were like before the wall was put up, and the elves, at least, have no wish for such things to return to that state, and sent us to broker peace. We seek an audience with you and really with all of the clan leaders, although I'm not sure how amenable some of the clans may be.
You wish to seek peace. That is an interesting task, for sure. Why here?
Well, we've met the Axe Clan, and I'm gonna take a shot in the dark that you wouldn't mind if I said that they were a bunch of assholes. You, however, are purported to be fair and just, and you have been gracious enough to take us in for this meeting. You did not attack us on sight. and your power speaks for itself.
Well put. If you ultimately wish to meet the council and broker peace with them, then similarly to many other lands and many other clans, you must be one of the barbarian clans in order to be granted an audience. The council does not take outsiders into advisement. They wish to settle most conflicts on the battlefield for those that which they deem their enemies, for ill or better. And I cannot say that they are always ill to do such things. Less blood is sometimes shed when two leaders duel. But I do not think that that will suffice here. I do not wish war. Quite frankly, the Bronze Clan is well equipped for war, but does not monger it like some of our brethren to the west. We've seen what war can do, and the waste it causes. NG is yelling at the door again. Of course. He always likes to steal my thunder. One sec.
Now that's a cat for you.
Cats
Really-
and dragons are very similar.
Yeah, cat really just a tiny dragon. Wants to be the center of attention. Usually gets it. Likes to hoard treasure underneath the couch. Likes to hoard treasure in a dungeon lair. Tomato, tomato.
Allows exactly one belly rub before the murder claws come out.
Yep.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
All right. So, that being said, what do you wish of me? Why do you seek my audience? Advice? Request? Favor?
I suppose. We need to speak before the council or have someone do that on our behalf. If
It's
you
really
are,
kind of all three.
yeah, exactly. It is all three. What is the? Do you just prefer Rift? Do you go by Your Highness, your?
Oh, simply call me Rift.
All right, Rift. You know, you don't want a longer war, but unless I've missed something here, you're not really going to put your neck out there to speak against it on the council necessarily. Am I correct? Yes. So I suppose if there's no other way to speak to the council except by being members of a clan, we would seek to join your clan and request your permission to speak before the council.
You learn quickly, Ulrich, of the Seregen lands. This could work. We do allow members outside of our clan to join it. It is not the way of every clan. It is a good thing that you came here. The only other clan that I know of that you would have had a chance would have been the Axe clan, ironically enough. Though theirs would have been a trial by combat. My trial is somewhat different.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. This is the axe that I claimed by combat. The axe of Orbin.
I see. Well, that may do you favors with the council, or it may not. I cannot say for certain, but it does pang pleasure in this old dragon.
By the way, this entire time Zippo's just been like staring at Riff, just like in amazement and awe at the same time. Since he got shut down from telling the entire story.
At some point, Ulrich picks you up and puts you on his shoulder so you can get a better look. If you like.
Yeah. If you didn't, Zippo's gonna start like slowly inching closer if he could.
Yeah.
Alright, so Rift, how do we join your clan? What is it you would ask of us, and what does joining your clan actually mean for our lives?
Well, every person in the city in some way is connected to the clan, but not everyone has pledged themselves to it. There are those that are unbonded that simply benefit from our protection. Some are dragons, some are not. But the clan itself succeeds from the I'm blanking on the word. It's not the pledged, it's the bonded, I guess is the word. The allegiance, yeah, based on allegiance. To be a member of the clan means that you represent our interests, that your actions are actions of the clan. If your actions were to be deemed outside of the clan's interests, you would be banished and an enemy to us. That is the responsibility of one who pledges allegiance to us. You would not act in a way that is against our interests. Is that acceptable?
I mean, probably, but could you define those interests a little more, firmly?
One would not harm another of the Bronze Clan, for one.
That's good.
What about self-defense?
If you are of the Bronze Clan, there will be no need for self-defense. If you are attacked by another of the Bronze, even once you have earned your marks, then they would themselves be banished instead, and therefore not be members of the Bronze Clan. So self-defense is allowable.
Very good.
Saying over the ring to the group seems like a good way to keep Zippo safe.
Yeah. Agreed. So do not attack other members of the Bronze Clan.
Seems easy enough.
Yeah, that is just straightforward. We're not looking to attack anyone. That's very much in keeping with our mission. So, what else might we expect?
Well, if the Bronze Clan has need of you, you will make attempts to help defend it. Those members of this clan would be your brethren. Now, that being said, I understand that you have responsibilities to other nations. This mark would forever make you no longer just part of those lands. He looks at each of you meaningfully.
I am pretty simple man, straightforward is a good word for me. When you say no longer just part of those lands, are you speaking in a metaphorical sense, as in we now have ourselves pledged, or we swear allegiance to our flag, the United Nation of Seregen, as well as to your country and for whatever it stands for?
Ulrich, imagine your home was in danger.
Mm-hmm.
You would do what you could to defend it.
Yes.
This is another home for you.
Very good. That is straightforward. I just wanted to make sure this wasn't a magical area of, I mean, again, straightforward with you. Our friend in Necrata has an interest in rebuilding the walls, is my understanding. And I don't know that that's necessarily the case. We're less concerned with that necessarily as much as just maintaining peace and ensuring that the Axe clan is already warring to the south. I can only imagine they're doing the same back in Seregen. So that's our big concern. But if someone were to reestablish the walls, I didn't want to have my personhood divided between two. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. No.
Sounds like a curse.
It is not as such. It is more, the mark will exist for you so long as you do not, in good faith, go against the clan. The mark will disappear the moment that you break that oath, if you will.
While this whole talk between Ulrich and Rift has been going on, Zippo's been looking at both arms, and eventually he just looks down to Ulrich. Which arm do you think it would look better on?
You say that out loud?
Yeah.
Left.
So I will say this: every dragon you've seen, everyone who's had the markings has had them on both arms. It's one for both forearms.
Ah, okay.
Why not both?
It'll still look better on the left, but it'll be on both.
Awesome, great. I'm super ready and excited.
Well, I'm glad you're ready. And I have many questions for you, little one. But it seems that for you all, time is of the essence. Why else would you seek me out at such an early hour?
I was just really excited to see you. I'm sorry.
The tavern we stayed at didn't serve breakfast.
Well, a meal will have to wait. For next is the trial. If you've agreed to the terms, you must pass the test in order to gain access to our clan. Now, it seems like all of you are of medium size, so I will send you all in together. Unless one of you is a larger creature in hiding, of course.
Zippo looks to Brunhild.
It does not seem to be the case. Yes, I will send you all to the medium trial. It will test you in many ways, individually and as a group. For being a clan member is not just working on your own, but with your brethren. I offer you this word of advice before I allow you entrance. Put your mindset into considering, if I were of the bronze, what would I do? And with that, he makes a gesture, and a staircase lowers. This floor sinks into a staircase to the left into a opening of a passage.
Okay. Zippo is gonna ask, is there a chance of combat in these trials? Because if so, I would like to ask that he'll point out to Brunhild. She stay up here because she's not meant for battle.
Your pet may stay with me. She does not need to be tested.
Thank you. And then he'll pull out a page because he's been drawing Rift as he's been doing. He's like, by the way, here you go. And he'll just give him the paper that's a drawing a Rift at best. It says up to the top right of it, Rift, bestest friend dragon.
Thank you, little one. And he sticks it on the wall. It seems to stay. Almost like a parent putting a picture on the refrigerator.
I suppose ecstatic now.
It's like the small dot on this giant wall. There's this faded mosaic behind it that it's covering a piece of.
Zippo very excitedly starts hitting down the path.
And I hope there are no more doors.
All right, so everybody heads down.
Yep.
Okay. An opening sits across from you at the other end of the room. It seems to house a doorway. The opening is a round, circular, I guess that's redundant, a circular door where stones are kind of fit in a kind of a pattern that they're kind of inset, and it kind of is a toothy looking inset door. The door seems to be made out of a stone that with a hole in the center of it That looks like it might be a handle of sorts.
Let's open it.
Yeah.
Looks like that.
Oh, that's not focusing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You can kind of see what I mean, though.
Like shattered. We're still
Yeah.
gonna try.
Those are all like inlaid stones, like kind of like a stone masonwork. I can take another picture too. That would probably work. All right. There you go.
Ah, it's like a gear.
Yeah, almost. But that's just because of how the stones are kind of inset up and down. It's kind of hard to describe that, you know. Does anybody want to try and open it?
Yeah. I'm up there turning the handle already.
Okay, so it looks like it's a grip where you can push or pull the stone. It seems to be a circular kind of piece of stone that you kind of roll out of the way. And that's inset into that gear-looking shape.
On second thought, Belzian and Ulrich are actually strong and can do this.
Oh, you got this. Let's all push and or pull at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll put my weight behind it, and y'all give me a hand, and we'll get it together.
It'd be like putting a saddle on, or not a saddle, the reins on Fred.
Yeah.
Yeah, how heavy could it be?
And push.
Okay, give me a strength check. Whoever's the one pushing.
Right.
Is it Roger? And then
I think it's Ulrich, and then we are helping him.
okay, so Ulrich roll with advantage.
Wow, I wasted all my rolls earlier today.
Ulrich doesn't seem to be able to open the door.
I'd give it a shot.
Okay.
There it goes.
Okay. Yarvik tries very pushes with great effort and
It's set multiple ones. Sorry.
oh, it's fine. Yarvik pulls with great effort and just barely makes the door roll to the side. The room is dark on the other side, and by dark I mean it's a magical darkness. You can't really see into the room at this present moment, but it seems like the only way to enter.
All right. We all hold hands. Go in, boys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, all 5 of you enter, and the door rolls shut behind you. As soon as the door secures in place, the magical darkness disappears, and you see before you a black dragon. The black dragon is chained against the wall, and I'm going to move the party into the map. Alright, so you are in here. I'll move you each in. Alright, so the black dragon is on the wall opposite of you. It is chained to the wall by its arms. Its wings are also chained down to the ground, and its neck is extended. It looks at you in anger and fear. And
I can't see anything, by the way.
oh,
Yeah, I got nothing.
Maybe it's just an extreme close-up of the black dragon's scales.
okay. I will work on that one, but so yeah, ultimately, it is. Can you see it now, Zippo?
Yep.
Okay. The best laid plans, right? It is looking at you in both anger and fear.
Draconic Zippo says, "Bye."
And that's where we're going to end session for tonight.
Awesome.
Oh boy, a dragon! Another dragon.
Yeah, we are in a very tiny room with this dragon.
All right. So we will be back in 2 weeks, which is going to be the 4th of April, believe it or not. And from there, we will see what happens next in this Trial of the Bronze. Thank you, everybody out there, for joining us in Twitch, and I hope you enjoyed. Gentlemen of the party, thank you for being here. It's nice to have everybody here, and I hope to see you all in 2 weeks. Everybody's good for the 4th, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll see you all real soon. Have a great one, and be safe, be well, be excellent. Bye.
Bye.